Je donne la parole.
I thank Ms. Representative and I give the floor to India.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, my delegation would like to congratulate you on your election as the Chair of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. Madam Chair, India is a strong supporter of the promotion and protection of the rights of indigenous peoples. We supported the adoption of the UN Declaration on the Rights of the Indigenous Peoples in 2007. Madam Chair, the issue of indigenous rights pertains to peoples in countries who are regarded as indigenous on account of their descent from the population which inhabited the country, or a geographical region to which the country belongs at the time of conquest or colonization, or the establishment of present state boundaries, and who, irrespective of their legal status, retain some or all of their own social, economic, cultural, and political institutions. This is precisely the definition used in ILO Convention number 169 of 1989. Consistent with this definition, the entire population of India at the time of independence and their successor is indigenous. Therefore, the concept of indigenous peoples is not applicable in India's context. Madam Chair, considering this, we request that no attempt should be made to term any specific group of peoples or community in India as indigenous to the exclusion of others. Any such references would be baseless and motivated. Madam Chair, to conclude, we would like to reiterate that the concept of indigenous peoples cannot and should not be expanded to create artificial divides by including those societies where diverse ethnic groups have lived together for thousands of years. I thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for your statement. I think there is confusion. Who is representing Global Naga Forum? Okay, so your mic, turn it green, please.
Honorable Chair and distinguished delegates, I have the privilege of addressing you on behalf of the Global Naga Forum. The indigenous Naga people living in northeast of India and northwest Myanmar have been in a continuous struggle for their rights of self-determination for more than 75 years, but without a just settlement. And today, I want to draw your kind attention to three related things happening in the Naga homeland in 2024, so that you can advocate on behalf of the Naga people. First, the Indian government has decided to scrap the free movement regime agreement it had with Myanmar since 2018. The agreement used to allow travel and visits within 16 kilometers on both sides of the border without a visa. Second, not only that, India has decided to build a border fence along the border with Myanmar, which will cut right through the Naga homeland, separating Naga villages and communities between the two countries. Third, there is already discussion about whether the Assam Rifles or the Border Security Force will be charged with the border security fence. This means that the Indian Armed Forces will be operating under the extrajudicial law of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which has been in force since 1958. These three things are interrelated. They all have to do with restricting and criminalizing the Naga people in their own homeland by the Indian military force, the deprivation of the basic human rights of the Nagas, and militarization of their homeland makes the 2007 UN DRIP makes it meaningless for the Naga people. I draw your kind attention to Article 30 and 36 of UN DRIP, which deals with rights of indigenous peoples living across international borders and militarization in their homelands. Most importantly, the Global Naga Forum fervently appeals the UNPFII to stand in solidarity with the Naga people by using its good offices and prevail upon India for restoration of the free movement regime, dropping the Borders Fence Project, 3, repealing the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and finally, resuming the negotiations of the Indo-political talks.
Thank you for your statement.